you. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. For each day that you compete, there are certain circumstances that you must understand and face. Each competition represents something unique. Each competition represents something that is powerful. It is going to put you in a position where you want to break down and quit. But we all know that quitting is not an option. You don't have a lot of time left, so there's no reason to complain. And you have to understand that there has to be something even greater and more challenging waiting for you. And if you're not willing to step outside of your comfort zone, then everything that you are hungry for will soon come to an end. You have to electrify the desire that you once had. So when the time comes, you can kick down that door and move towards the possibilities of being the best of who you really are.
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear so we can start our first morning session of the week. A brand new day, a brand new week full of opportunities. I see a thumbs up. All right, amazing. Yes, we can hear you. All right, great. So like I said, another day, another week, another opportunity, let me say it like that. The markets are full with opportunities every single week again. So let's see what we have for this week. Before I start, I want to go over the Forex Factory because the Forex Factory, of course, is the place where we go if we want to see what kind of news we have on this day. And like you can see, the only thing I'm really bothered is we have the Fed Chair Powell testifying. I don't really expect the biggest impact on this, but just be aware that at 4 p.m. we have the Fed Chair Powell testifying. All right, so that's the only thing I wanted to warn you about. We do have some NZD cash rates, official cash rates here at 4 a.m. this night, or next morning. So please be aware if you're looking for any NZD pairs and you are still in a trade. If you go to sleep, please make sure that you're aware of this massive news event. This could shake the market a little bit up, all right? Especially, of course, the NZD pairs. Good. Let's take a look what we have for today. I'm going to go over the price traps, or I'm going to go through the charts and see if we can get some opportunities out of the market for this week. All right. The very first one, we will start with AUD/JPY. Yeah, that's the reason. I don't expect the biggest impact on that Fed Chair Powell testifying, because mostly of the time we only see the biggest impacts with the meeting and the press conference. But like you said, I never trust it. Just be aware of it and be careful, and always make sure to follow your risk management. That's the most important part when it comes down to the news. All right, so the very first one, what do we have? We have AUD/JPY. For the people who do not know what we're doing here, I see most people who are on the session knows already what price trap is, but for the people who are watching the recording or never been on my sessions before, what I'm going to do is pretty simple. I'm trapping price between a high and a low, and I simply want to wait till these highs and lows break out. All right, so here I'm going to put an alert on it. AUD/JPY break resistance. So the moment I have a 1 hour candle closure above or, of course, below my zone, I know the direction of the market, and I can find myself some entries when the market comes back for a beautiful retest. All right, so that's the first one, AUD/JPY. Let me first check something before I go further. Just a moment, guys. All right, good. Let's see. I'm also interested in this one, AUD Canadian. We have a massive breakout of the high here. And I'm just curious, can we follow up this uptrending movement? Like you can see, we were breaking and retesting all the time, all right? Break, retest, break, retest, break, retest. Now is the question, can we follow the next break, retest with that uptrending market? Or is the time, or has the time come where we can spot some reversals in the charts? I would definitely be looking at the support zone. Let me check. Yeah, I do like this one. Let me first go a little bit further into the past. That's also what I'm doing. If I'm marking up my zones, I just go in the past and see if I have other confirmations on my zones other than what's happening right now in the charts. All right. So that's for 80 Canadian. Simply waiting for that retest. I know it's a pretty big breakout, and it could take a while till we have the proper retest. But I just want to make sure we are focused on following the trend, and that's something very powerful. If you always make sure to follow the trend, you know that you're moving with the money and not against it. There we go. So that's for 80 Canadian. 80 USD, not really the most clean chart, so let me move on with this one. Same for 80 NZD. All right. Let's see what we can do with this one. First, check on other brokers, how these candles look like. Okay. Pretty much all the same. Alrighty. Let me just focus on this low. There we go. The other candle is during spread hour. Most of the time I just ignore that little candle here because it's just like a little bug in the market. Let me say it like that. All right. So let's see if we can break a support or resistance zone here on Euro AUD and finally get a proper direction of this market. All right, because we were in a consolidation movement here for a couple of, this is already a couple of weeks. So let's see if we can really get a proper breakout here on Euro AUD. Resistance, there we go. And then of course, the break of the supports. There we go. Euro JPY also showing two good zones. Stuck in between this resistance zone and this support zone. There we go. JPY is rising for a long time already, so let's see. Do we follow up the breakouts of the highs, or is this the moment we start breaking to the downside? That's the big question. There we go. Already number 4. Maybe gonna come back on this one. Let's see. Euro pound, I don't really like what I'm seeing here, so let's move on. Euro USD, same thing. Not really the most beautiful charts today. Stay away from this one also. All right, GJ. If you have any price traps yourself, or you're looking for any price trap, let me know in the chat box. Always fun to see how you guys are looking at the charts, which kind of zones you're looking for, which breakouts you're looking for. Maybe you did a reaction already. don't be scared to send into the chat box, and I will give you a quick review on what I think about that chart and what I see on that chart. Of course, like you guys know, I'm not here to give you any advice or things like that. I'm just here to help you and educate you and give you like multiple opportunities or multiple options how you can potentially react on these charts. Entry on the 30-minute, amazing. Let me check. This is nothing. This is GN. I was just looking at GN. You're really looking at this very, very small price trap. This is, in my opinion, more a I'm gonna come back on your question, but this is really like this. In my opinion, this is not really like a 1 hour price trap. I'm also staying away from it personally. This is more like a 15-minute. Like you can see, 50 minutes is way more clear. I do understand what you're looking for. This breakout retest. This could work, of course. The doesn't matter which time frame you go and trap the market. It works on every single time frame. All right. So you reacted on a morning star together, 30-minute time frame rejection, 50-minute time frame, also pretty good reaction on this low. So yeah, I do understand why you reacted. The only thing I personally don't really like is your price trap itself. All right. If I would look to trade GN, I want to really focus on the last point of structures of the trend. All right, and that's basically these two levels. All right. I would only be interested once we break above that and then gets a longer term retest. Okay, but I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's not correct. This is just a smaller time frame price track. Why did I use this high and not the very top on GJ? Because I want to follow this uptrending movement. Like you can see here, GJ is uptrending for a long time already. But if I'm talking about a long time, I'm really talking about a long time. All right. So I basically want to follow up the highs and lows and see if we can really get that uptrend in and keep on going, moving to the upside. And what I see personally is this is the last high. This is, in my opinion, the last low that needs to get broken if we really want to start going down. All right. But this last high is broken yesterday, so we can find ourselves a better retest, maybe a little deeper retest, to follow up this uptrending movement. Like you can see, we have the low, the high, higher low, higher high. All right. So let's see if we can follow it up. Yes or no. Yes, of course. We do have some price rush from yesterday, and 80 Canadian was one of them. Still waiting for that retest. This is nothing happened. Same thing, 80 JPY. We already had this one yesterday. Still waiting for that breakout, so nothing happened. If nothing happens, we simply wait. All right, that's what price swap is all about. All right, we are paid to wait because we need to wait for the breakout. We need to wait for the retest. We need to wait. Till we get our confirmations. Like you can hear it. We are waiting, 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 and again waiting. All right. Yes, indeed. That's correct. What you're saying there. So in the question they are saying like in the past you made small price traps. Now the bigger ones. Why did I change? Or yeah, the reason why I changed is pretty simple. Let me first check something. Excuse me, guys. Don't know why, but my phone isn't quiet. All right, there we go. The reason why I changed is pretty simple. I want to be more focused on trending markets and really following these trending markets. In the past, I wasn't really paying that much attention to it. All right, I was just focusing on highs and lows. I was reacting on counter trends. I was reacting on following the trends. It didn't matter for me. Right now, the thing that changed is I've been working with a new entry style the last couple of months, and this is more focused on following the trend and having these longer term movements in the charts. All right, so that's the reason basically behind it. All right, nothing more, nothing less. So I hope that answers your question. So good. As the Canadian, another trap, waiting for a proper retest and really getting into our zones. For me personally, I'm really waiting for this pair to follow or to fill up this imbalance zone after the NFP news was happened yesterday last week. Wow. So that's what I'm waiting for with NZD Canadian. Of course, I'm gonna put my support zone on this. So if the market changes direction, I can really follow it once we have the break of the wall. This is what I'm looking for, all right? This is the little imbalance zone I'm really interested in. Let's see if the market gets there, if we can get ourselves some opportunities, yes or no. Let me put an alert for the retest. When and how would you enter? Pretty simple. I'm waiting for this imbalance zone. You can use so many different things. Everything you see basically or learn in these kind of videos that you find all over the internet, supply demand zones, imbalance zones, the simple break and retest, FIP levels, candlesticks, patterns. You have so many different ways to react to it. What I really would encourage you is backtest different ways and find yourself the way you like the most. All right. It can be the 5-step confirmation like in the past. Everyone knows that. It's the reactional candlestick patterns, like really waiting on the 1 hour, on the 30, on the 50-minute time frame, that every single time frame is showing us that the market wants to go up or down. All right. Or you can start focusing yourself on fit levels and find yourself in balance zones and these kind of things. All right. That's of course 100% your own decision. I'm always here to make some price traps together to see what the direction is of the market and if we can do something with it, yes or no. All right. Good. UJ, we have it right here. Of course, I'm also reviewing your charts if you want to. So if you are sending out your price traps you reacted on the day before or the week before, you can always send this out and I will help you guys as good as possible. Or I will just answer on my personal vision I have on these certain pairs and certain entries. Okay. So UJ, let's see if we can follow up the breakout to the downside. You see that we are creating this downtrending kind of movement, okay? So I want to see if we can really follow this up, yes or no, okay? And the JPY for the retest, yeah, I was looking for it. I was doubting a little bit. I wanted to give it a little pink flag. That's just so I can return to it when I went through the whole list. But I was also looking at it a little bit doubtful, but I will get back to it. Break. This needs to be support. Let me change it. Support. There we go. And we have this resistance zone. Let's go. I know like the price traps I do right now, it takes a little longer till we find our breakout and retest, but the accuracy is way higher. That's the reason why I changed up a bit. Also, I know in the past, and I told you guys that you guys know this from me. I wasn't scared to have a stop loss. All right. Sometimes I took 5, 6 stop losses in a row, but then I had 5, 6 take profits in a row, and then you know how the risk to reward games go. All right. But right now I'm more focused on these trending markets, and I really see in my trading, in my journals, my logs, that my accuracy is way higher than in the past. I know what you're looking for. I think the breakout retest. What are you looking for sells or buys for NZD/JPY? Now I'm curious. Before I do something on the chart, I want to know your answer on that. Which kind of news makes the most impact in the market in all pairs? I have some problems with the news. For the buy, yes, exactly. The longer term vision, probably. I'm gonna come back on your news question in a moment. But first, this is the way you're looking at it, I think. I'm not sure, of course, but I think this is the way you're looking at it. Like you can see, this is more longer term price trap. Yes, sir. I knew it. But this is really like following that trend, and we have so high potential that the market will follow up this trend and will start moving with this beautiful uptrending market. By the way, if you reacted on the NZD/JPY last week, this was a beautiful reaction, all right? And you're still running it, okay? Or depends on your risk management and how you trade. But if you have multiple take profits or you have a twin trading strategy, this one is still going, all right? So yeah, same for this one, if I'm not mistaken. No, this one didn't break out properly. Good. For the news, which news events? So let me put a blue flag on this one. I'm happy with the price trap, so that will be it. But I will go over in a few seconds. Let me first go over the news. For me personally, the news, it's pretty simple. You always want to just make sure you be aware or know that the CPI, doesn't matter which kind of currency it is a very important news event. I'm gonna say you up front before I go further, I'm not the most experienced fundamental trader. For me personally, I don't really care about news. In my opinion, news is just an excuse to get price where they want to see it. All right, but I do look out for certain news events, and these are the biggest news events that we can find, and these are the CPIs. We also had, of course, the NFPs. So here CPI also, be aware of that. So let me go through and just show you what kind of news events I really look out for. The unemployment claims, like if you see this on dollar, this could impact pretty much the whole market. Not gonna say the whole market, like every pair, but you will see that almost the whole market will be reacting on USD news. If you then, for example, have an AED employment and unemployment rate, you will see that it mostly of the time only will be on AED. All right, so be aware of it. If it's a big news event for USD, you will see the same kind of reactions on other pairs when we have an AED unemployment rate and so on and so forth. Okay. So we have, what did I already show you? We have the FOMC, of course, FOMC press conference. We have NFP, we have CPI, we have unemployment claims. And I think that will be basically it. The three biggest ones are the CPIs, the FOMCs, and the NFPs. This one here, all right? Non-farm employment change. These are the biggest ones where we will see the biggest impacts. The PPI, yeah, of course, there are a lot of news events. So let me just write this down, okay? These are the biggest ones I will really be aware or most of the time even stay away from is NFP, CPI, and FOMC press conference, okay? Important because you will see a lot of FOMCs, but it's the conference, something like this, I think, that has the biggest impact, all right? So these are like the news events I'd rather stay away from. Then we also have other news events that has some impact, but I personally don't really care about these kind of news events, but because mostly of the times, these kind of news events just goes to my entry and triggers it and then moves on, all right? So these are like the PPIs, unemployment rate or change. I don't know if I'm writing it correctly, but you know what I mean over there. So PPI unemployment is not good what I want to write down there, but it doesn't matter. So unemployment rate and change. What do we have more? The GDP is also a news event that has some big impacts. But I personally, like I said, I don't care about these ones because these ones are very good to trigger my entries. All right. Yeah, of course it doesn't matter which flags it is. Basically, what I'm writing down right now, these are all red flag events, okay? These are the ones I stay away from. These are the ones I really don't care about because these ones are beautifully as a good tool to trigger my entries, let me say it like that, okay? Like official bank rates are also pretty big for the pound. CPIs, of course, like I said. The cash rate is also one of these news events. And I think that's basically it. We do have a beautiful video. I think it's a video of almost 3 hours where Sander, one of our community members, has been explaining every single detail about the news. But that's within our community, all right? Within our Discord community, where we go way deeper into our charts, way deeper into the fundamental analysis and that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in these kind of things, you should probably start sending me some private messages, and I can help you further so you can get these important knowledge points in your trading also. All right. So good. The price traps for today. What do we have? We have 80 Canadian waiting for that retest. Let's see if we can get back. If we don't get back, of course, this is a new high. This is a new point of structure. So if we see the market breaking this today, you can already wait for a retest also from that point. Okay. Then we have AUD JPY still in between the zones, waiting for the breakout. Euro AUD exactly the same thing, waiting for that breakout. Euro JPY, same thing, waiting for that breakout. GJ, waiting for a little deeper retracement. For the people who are interested, yeah, what kind of levels are you looking for? Well, it's pretty simple. My first interest level was around, oh, it got already triggered, I see. And that's my second one, all right? So the first one is around this area. Second one is around this area. Then I'm looking for some buys on GJ. Then we have NZD Canadian waiting for a proper retest. I want to see it getting lower, at least hitting this lower line. That's why I put an alert on that one. Then we have NZD JPY. For this one, we are basically around entry moments. All right. This was a very interesting zone, and that's also what I'm looking for. Just saying, not a financial advice, but just saying that we are at some interesting points over there. And then we have UJ, where we are also waiting for a breakout, and that will be it. Okay, good. That's for the Forex. I'm gonna go over pretty quick what happened on Bitcoin, because we have seen some pretty nasty moves or pretty strong moves. What did we see here is basically what I said. Do you remember my analysis from last week? Last week I made this one. I told you guys, like, this 4-hour zone is very interesting. If the market gets this zone, the chances are high or very high that it will be respected and that the market will start to drop. For the people who were paying attention, this was a perfect entry to find yourself a sell opportunity on Bitcoin. All right. Now, as a question, what are we going to do? Do we follow up this downtrending movement that we have seen on the 4-hour time frame? Yes or no? Now, my question goes further, because we have been breaking some daily structure. Okay. We also didn't retest this little demand zone yet. All right. Like you can see, it was very close, but we didn't retest yet. So what I personally would be looking for is pretty simple. We have this supply zone. Like you guys know, there we go. Like you guys know, the market never moves in one straight line to the up or downside. Or yeah, Bitcoin, sometimes it happens. But most of the time you will see that the market will be moving in waves. So what I want to see is pretty simple. It's like a price trap kind of thing here. More a 4-hour and daily, but it's like a price trap kind of thing here. I want to see the market getting a retest into the supply zone to then go lower and get back to this 53, 52K area. You guys know how long that I'm talking about this zone. I'm talking about this zone since the market went all the way up to here. I think somewhere around this period, I started talking about this one here. All right. And now we are finally getting there. I'm not going to say this will be the best buy entry on Bitcoin. Like you guys know, I'm not here to give you any financial advice, just my vision and my education. But this could be the zone that will cause the market to start moving up again. But also, it could be the market just doesn't give a fuck about the zone, excuse me for language, and just go through this and then react on these demand levels. All right, that's also perfectly possible. But that's why we follow this up daily. And every day we just see what has the market done. Do we have a breakout? Did the market respect previous lows or highs? And that kind of stuff. All right. But like you guys know, with the crypto part, I'm really a long-term person. I'm more a person who is really like not really trading it, but investing it. But these are like the kind of moments you can find yourself some good new buying entries, or if you're trading, you can find some selling entries to ride it all the way down to this zone. Okay, and that's basically it. Why didn't you trap UCAT? I'm a little confused on UCAT. Let me say it like that. I don't really like charts. So if, like you guys know, if I have any doubts or I don't like the chart, I simply step away. But I do see what you're looking for. But I have too much mixed signals. We could basically just wick this little demand zone out and then start moving up. But we can do exactly the same thing at the other side. So the trending direction isn't that clear on this chart. Okay, that's the biggest reason why I stay away from it. Good. So for Ethereum, of course, we have exactly the same thing. We created this equal low. We can expect the market to start moving to supply zones. So we can basically just see this zone playing out like this. All right, a little lower, of course, this little wick. And then have the retracements deeper into these demand levels around 2,500. Okay, and that's it. That's it for today. We do have some interesting price traps. We have some interesting charts on the crypto. Let's see what kind of day we will have. If we will have some opportunities, yes or no. Just know like NSD, JPY, and GJ are the ones that are the closest to our interest points and reaction points. But we shall see how this goes further from this point. Okay. So I want to thank you all for being here. I want to wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day. And of course, we see each other back tomorrow morning, 8:30, to review these price traps, to see what the market has done with these beautiful ideas and these beautiful analysis. Like you guys know, I'm going to share every pair into the channels. Yeah, and that's basically it. Also, the recording will be on my YouTube channel. All right. So thank you all for being here. I wish you the best. And we see each other back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Brussels time zone. Ciao, ciao.